Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Yeah, the old clock says it's 5 o'clock. Beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Thanks a bunch for stopping by, I do appreciate it. Today's beer comes from, and I'm going to probably butcher this all to hell guys, Brouwerij 3 Fonteinen Oude Geuze. And this comes by the way of beer brother Greg, and he writes Armand and Gaston from Brouwerij 3 Fonteinen. Like I said, I'm probably butchering all these words all up, guys. An outstanding Geuze that rates number 172 on Beer Advocate's top 250 list. Then he tells me, embrace the style. From what I can see here, this one is 6.7%. Beer Advocate has it listed as a 6%. These guys are out of Belgium. And also Untapped has it at 6%. So different years, different batches, different ABVs. So thanks again, Greg, for sending it to me. I have done several of this style beers before. It's not my go-to, but we're still trying to wrap our arms around a bunch of different other styles, the sours and the Geuzes and lambics and a lot of that stuff, but not something I'd want to drink every day, but it's nice to get to try them. And this was in a corked and caged bottle, and it says it was bottled on March 8th of 2018, so it's best before October. Now they do, it says 08 March of 18, and then best before 26th October of 38. So I don't know if it was put in March 18th of 08 or March 8th of 18, and best before October. It'd have to be October 26th because there's no such thing as October 38. So October 26th of 38. So they're giving it a 20-year shelf life for 6.7%. So that's a long time. This isn't going to keep for a while. Like I said, it's a corked and caged bottle here. Looks like a 500 milliliter, 12.7 fluid ounces. It says here on the back. So an imported beer. So I don't know what he paid for it, but I'm sure it wasn't cheap. Anyway. We don't have IBUs. This says a blend here. This is on Untapped. A blend of 1, 2, and 3-year-old lambic, unfiltered and unpasteurized, and aged in the bottle for at least 6 months after blending. Continued fermentation in the bottle gives this Geuze its famous champagne-like spritziness. The lambic that goes into it's brewed only with 60% barley malt, 40% unmalted wheat, aged hops and water, spontaneously fermented by wild yeast, and matured in oak cask. Says it's a blend of, oh my gosh, it's a long one, bear with me. Blend of 1, 2, and 3-year-old lambic, patient maturation in oak barrels, and continued evolution of the ecosystem in the bottle results in a distinctively complex and elegant natural beer. No two bottlings are alike, as there are multiple variables in the blending process, a variety of barrel sizes and shapes, differences in age, lambic proportions in the blend. When cellar property, this can be aged for several decades, henceforth 20-year shelf life. The aromas and flavors will evolve with notes of ripe and fresh citrus, zesty and grassy notes, and mellow oaky stone fruit bouquet. As lambic continues to develop with time, lambic and Geuzes are living cultural heritage rooted in the Zen Valley. Taste, savor, enjoy, and experience this bottle fermented, unfiltered, unpasteurized, and unadulterated beer with friends, new and old. The only problem with that is these bottle fermentation beers a lot of times they go kind of crazy when you take the top off, the cork out of them. They spew and all that like champagne does a lot of times. So I hope this one doesn't do that. So it's been in the fridge since I've had it, and I don't know. When it's chilled in the refrigerator, it slows that fermentation down. But when it's sitting out on the shelf or at room temperature, it keeps on fermenting and keeps on building up. Another reason they put a cage on top of this cork to keep it from blowing the cork out of it from the pressure that built up. So that's all we need to talk about, guys. We've gone over everything, I think. So let's get it open and see what we got. Alright, let's see if I'm lucky enough to be able to twist it off. It's moving. Let's see what happens, guys. Big pop. Yeah, looks like it's staying in the bottle. Good, good, good for me. Into the glass we go. There. About a finger of head on that pour. A very nice amber color. A lot of bubbles streaming up from the center of the glass. Fairly clear beer, guys. I can see through it. It's got a slight haze on the big bulb part down here, but I can see light through the thin part. Good looking beer. To the nose we have. Smells like a Geuze to me. I'm getting a little bit of citrusy, a little bit of apples, and maybe a little lemons, a little maltiness in there. Smells good. It smells like what I remember a Geuze to smell like, guys. And you might taste a lot of different things, and like it says here, different bottles, different batches have different characteristics. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Greg. Thank you. I appreciate it, my brother. Kind of tart. Not sour, but tart. A little bit of hay, a little grassiness, a little bit of citrusy notes, maybe some pears or apples. It is quite tart though. Very easy drinking for 6.7. Alcohol is well hidden. Other than the tartness, it's fairly smooth. And as I drink on, by the time I get to the end of the beer, I'll be more accustomed to it. But, you know, drinking IPAs and double IPAs and stuff quite often, because those are my favorites and go-tos usually. This is quite a bit different, just like drinking a sour or a wild ale, yeast beer. Well, very nice. It's right out of the fridge, so the flavors and aromas are probably going to get more intense as it warms up. So let's do that, and let it come up to room temperature, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on a while. Very tasty Geuze. I mean, it is a Belgian style all the way. A little bit of funkiness going on there. Not quite as tart now, but I've been sipping on it for a while as it was when I first sipped on it. Very pleasant beer, especially if you like this style. A world class in the style, according to what Greg's telling me. It's got a pretty good rating on Beer Advocate, and a lot of people probably think it's world class. And if you say it is, I wouldn't argue with that. Like I said, I don't drink enough of them, and it's not my style of preference anyway, but probably if I was living in Belgium or born and raised there, it would probably be one of my favorite styles. So it's what it is. Depends on what you like to drink and what blows your hair back, guys. I say that all the time. Or your socks off, however you want to put that. Very tasty beer. Final choke. Like I said, not quite as tart now as it was when I first sipped on it. With a little bit of pears, apples, Little grassiness, little funkiness. Very pleasant. Very pleasant. 95 for me, guys. Right down the middle of the A category. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 97. They're giving a better grade than I am. And like I said, if you say it's a 10 beer, I would not argue with that. I don't drink enough of them to I'm just giving you my opinion of it. Over to Untapped, they have it at 4.09, and that's in their A minus. So I'm in between there, those two. So definitely an A beer. Untapped has it at A minus. I have it in a solid A, and Beer Advocate has it in the upper, a couple notches above what I'm giving it. So if you've had this beer, the 3 Fonteinen Oude Geuze, let me know. It's a lambic/Geuze style beer. Like I said, very pleasant. Thank you, Greg. I do appreciate you sending it to me. Let me try it. And if you've had this, guys, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.